On the dead homies. Hey, Soundwave, turn this shit up, nigga.
What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Cal, aka Activism, here with another video on the channel. And we're back, like usual. And I'm actually live right now, twitch.tv/activism. Y'all should know it by now. With another reaction. And since Halloween is coming up, we're about to get in a little spooky, scary spirit by starting it off with some dead meat kill count. The Mummy. I don't even know what this movie is, but based off of this video, I might watch it. Because I plan on watching a bunch of horror movies as well as playing a bunch of horror games. So make sure y'all subscribe to my gaming channel. Yeah, that's okay. I think I said everything. I'm also going to do like a bunch of horror games on that gaming channel. So like, yeah, that's what I really meant to say. Let's lock in though. The Mummy 1999 kill count.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at The Mummy. Again, but this time the 1999 one. The Mummy is a remake of the 1932 Universal horror classic, which I covered last week. I wasn't a big fan of that movie, but I am a lifetime fan of this one. Like many millennial men, I saw The Mummy when I was young, and it became my whole personality for a while. Rewatching it as an adult, I'm happy to say it still kicks ass. In fact, I think it's one of the best.
Is this what House of Ashes is kind of based off of? Because like I remember playing that game with my homeboy, and it, like just based off of them being in the tomb and shit.
Adventure movies ever made. Sure, there's probably some nostalgia talk in there, but it's hard to find fault with this film. It's literally got everything. Action, adventure, comedy, romance, horror. It's all here. Most importantly, there's never a dull moment. It's actually unbelievable how much they cram into this thing. It's just set piece after set piece after set piece, all featuring character after character after character. There's so much action and so many kills to count. It feels like the kind of movie we don't get anymore. A fun roller coaster ride at a huge scale with real people in real places. Like, look at all these extras. They needed so many extras to make this. Sure, they go hard on the CG too, and 26 years later, it's starting to show its age. But that's okay. Inventive practical effects look dated all the time. Doesn't make them any less cool or important. And what was achieved here was a triumph. All the visual effects were done by Industrial Light and Magic, who took it from the design process all the way through animation.
Part of what makes movies great is that you can produce something on the screen that you could never
even then it's so impressive how like how
delights,
good it still is for their time.
Score by Jerry Goldsmith,
keeping in mind that like,
who scored
nigga, they made this shit in 1999, damn near right before the 2000s. Like animation was getting more advanced, but even then it wasn't crazy advanced at the time, especially not how it is now. And like I still think the shit that they had back then looks pretty solid.
Geist, Alien, and frickin' Gremlins. Still, my favorite thing about The Mummy is the characters. Everyone stands out in their own way, each getting a quirk or trait to make them memorable. And at the top of the cast are two of the most attractive human beings to ever live, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. They star as Rick O'Connell and Evelyn Carnahan, two adventurers who unwittingly awaken the Mummy Imhotep during an expedition. Their chemistry is electric, right from the start.
How'd you do?
Oh, well, guess she's not total loss.
I beg your pardon.
They were the bi-awakening for many a viewer, I'm sure of it. And it doesn't hurt that the rest of the cast
is. This nigga said they was the bi-awakening. Nigga, was they the bi-awakening for you? Nigga, niggas like, they don't even look that crazy to me for real. But yo ass seem like you into both of them. Heavily, nigga.
Sexy too. The Mummy is chock full of harrowing action, quippy one-liners, secret societies, killer bugs, supernatural plagues, and plenty of explosions. On top of all that, it's got lots of ties to the original Mummy and enough horror to keep things scary for the casual viewer. It's just a damn good movie and remains beloved to this day. That's why this is an extra long kill count. I just can't help but talk about everything I love and all the craftsmanship that brought it to life. The Mummy spawned two sequels, the first of which featured The Rock in his first ever acting role, a spin-off franchise starring The Rock's character, an animated series, a roller coaster, and a Tom Cruise remake in 2017 that no one liked and I'll probably never mention again. But this movie means a lot to me, and I am so happy to feature it on the kill count. Death is only the beginning. What? Really? Again?
We have reconvened and concluded that if we cannot break your mortal form, we shall simply break your spirit here in your mind.
Oh, we're in my mind? Okay, well. Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, I mean, since we're in my head, I figured that I would just conjure up some everyday earbuds classics from today's sponsor, Raycon.
Okay.
See,
I ain't gonna lie, they did that shit smoothly. W ad. I'm not watching it, but W ad. Low key. They did that shit smooth as hell.
Favorite cool mint. That'll be pretty difficult, because everyday ears unite the premium audio brand.
Free, but be warned. If we don't like these Raycons, we will be back.
I don't see that happening. Check out Raycon Meat to get
That-
only the
okay,
beginning.
WQ account,
Then you gotta
WQ
count all
account.
the fuckers who died. So let's get to them. The movie begins with a production logo. Or wait, no, that's an establishing shot? Oh shit, we in ancient Egypt, motherfuckers! This is Thebes, the city of the living.
I fuck
The
with
big
the zoo.
baldy overlooking it is Imhotep. He's high priest to Pharaoh Seti I, but he's got a risky side thing going on with the pharaoh's concubine, Anck-su-namun. No fucking wonder he'd risk it all for her. This woman jump-started many a puberty. She's quite the catch with that fishnet body paint thing going on. She's played by a 27-year-old Patricia Velasquez in her first big role. She'd end up being in The Curse of La Llorona and Malignant, and was one-time girlfriend to the brothers Blue. The pharaoh discovers her unfaithfulness thanks to smeared shoulder paint, but before he can figure out who Hermano is, they murder him in a silhouetted stabbing. Damn, cucked and killed? Ha, that sucks, dude. Anck-su-namun and Imhotep know the gig is up. They thought they were so clever, but now they must sever, so she sends them away and gets to breaking the girl, by which I mean herself, before the guards can get to her. Imhotep isn't content to let her stay dead, though. He and his priests take her body to Hamunaptra, the city of the dead, where he begins a ritual to resurrect his lover. He's nearly done fishing her soul from the ectoplasmic underworld when the pharaoh's bodyguards bust in and unplug Anck-su-namun right in the middle of her reboot. Did you guys really need to do this? Come on, your boss is dead. You can clock out. Instead, they mummify Imhotep's golden boys alive as punishment for their actions, adding 13 gilded bodies to
My
the count.
God.
Imhotep himself is given the Hamdai, a ritual that sees him mummified and tucked in with some bedbugs tight, cursed to an eternal
That's fucking
undead
crazy.
unrest. Imhotep's backstory does not follow historical fact, but it does follow the 1932 film pretty closely. The biggest difference is that Anck-su-namun is the pharaoh's lover here. In the original, she was his daughter. The final step of the Hamdai
That was a
sees
crazy
Imhotep
fucking
buried 6
change
feet
of role,
deep
I
at
ain't
the
gonna
foot of
lie.
this title card. The sands of time take us to 1923. A battle is brewing between French Legionnaire forces and an incoming army of Tuaregs, which consisted of about 200 stuntmen on horse. The whole thing is watched over by the black-clad Magi, descendants of the pharaoh's bodyguards. Guys, seriously, you can clock out. Fighting for the French is dashing American Rick O'Connell, the only one ranked high enough.
Imagine fucking with the pharaoh so much that your bodyguard's willing to die for you after you already die, and then your bodyguard's children are willing to die for you as well. Like, y'all descendants of bodyguards, nigga, it's never been that deep.
Not have to wear a hat. The Tuaregs charge to kick off our first counting nightmare. Legionnaires fire into
how they got
the numbers,
descendants of
killing
bodyguards,
42
but
of them
not
on their
descendants of the
approach,
pharaoh?
I think. War scenes are never easy for this series, but we'll just assume that anyone who gets shot counts as a kill. I don't really see any other way to do this. The Tuaregs don't go down without a fight either. They shoot and slice down 38 Legionnaires, including one guy who gets a sword thrown into his back.
Damn.
I always try to show every kill being counted, but that means coming up with stuff to say while the kill graphic is on screen and while we play the footage. So this is that stuff to say. Rick uses his American gusto to take out 5 Tuaregs himself, even switching to dualies at one point. Damn. Oh, and then he quick switches to another pair? What the fuck?
Why
This
nigga got
man's
so much guns
unstoppable.
on him?
He parkours his way past 6 background
nigga moving,
bodies
though.
count, since this is a new location, so we wouldn't have seen them shot already. He's finally cornered, but before he's executed, the horses are spooked off by his handsomeness. Haha, 2 dumbasses even fall from their mounts on the way out. They were running from this scary-ass sand face that just formed in the ground. Huh, interesting that. With the Legionnaires defeated and the Tuaregs running scared, the Magi decide they don't need to interfere. The only one left is Rick, and ain't no way he'll make it out of the desert alive. This 2-part opening does a great job setting the movie's scale and tone, but The Mummy wasn't always going to be such a rip-roaring adventure flick. A new Mummy movie was in the works for nearly a decade, originally envisioned by producers as a low-budget horror film set in the modern day. So many horror directors pitched for it. Joe Dante developed a satirical version with Daniel Day-Lewis as the lead, George Romero wrote something more creepy and romantic, and Clive Barker developed a sexy, scary version that Universal said was too perverted to make? Oh shit!
How the fuck can you make a movie about zombified human remains wrapped around like some type of paper or some shit? Like, overly perverted. Unless they was doing some like crazy shit with who was playing the Pharaoh's daughter, but even then that's wild.
Did we get that version too, though? Stephen Sommers stepped up to the
That
plate
nigga
after
made a
finishing his
porno,
aquatic
bruh.
horror film Deep Rising, which Zorn covered on the Kill Count. Summers said they should go big and pitched a grand period epic. While the studio had originally budgeted $15 million for the whole movie, Summers said that's what he would need for visual effects alone. To his surprise, Universal loved the idea, and he got the job an hour after his pitch. The movie jumps 3 years to 1926 in the Egyptian capital of Cairo. In the Museum of Antiquities, librarian Evelyn Carnahan and her tiny Y2K eyebrows are hard at work. She's great at her
Y2K
job,
eyebrows
but can
is
be a little
wild.
clumsy, as her stunt double can attest to. She ends up making a mess using the Dewey Domino system in an awesome single shot that captures a circle of real bookcases falling perfectly to knock each other down. It was filmed with a 360-degree camera rig, and Rachel Weisz had to duck out of its way as it spun around, then pop back up to finish the shot. Thankfully, they got it on the first take.
Man, that was the most long-winded scene ever. Like I could just imagine it. Boom, she knocked down one, and then you just hear intense music going around these slow-ass bookcases. That's crazy. Also, that's why I think, isn't that why like most bookcases are like mounted to the ground now? So like if a hurricane or some shit happens, they ain't got to worry about this.
Something had gone wrong.
But not a
it would have taken
hurricane,
an
earthquake
entire
or something.
day to reset
Ain't a
all the
hurricane, anything
bookcases
work.
and their 12,000 books. Evie's boss, the curator, gets mad and wonders why he hired her, but she defends her credentials.
I can read and write ancient Egyptian, and I can decipher hieroglyphics and hieratic. And, well, I am the only person within 1,000 miles who knows how to properly code and catalog this library, that's why.
Still, she might not be long for this job if her older brother Jonathan keeps messing with the exhibits. He's a failed archaeologist turned failed treasure hunter turned successful alcoholic. See, everyone finds their thing eventually. He's been playing Antiques Roadshow with Evie for years, but he's finally got something of actual value. A puzzle box that contains a map of a certain city of the dead.
It's Hamunaptra.
While Imhotep and Anck-su-namun have a loose basis in actual history, the city of Hamunaptra
How do you even like find that one song clip to put in this video for that one specific moment?
is completely fictional, as is the Hamdai ceremony. Jonathan pickpocketed the puzzle box from a guy who's now in prison, so they go there to talk to him. It's Rick, of course, sporting his George of the Jungle hair and temperament. He tells the siblings
This
he'd
nigga's like
love to
Tarzan,
lead them
bro.
to Hamunaptra, but see, there's just one little issue. He's about to be hanged.
Nigga, imagine, boom. Imagine you go to like some desert to like find the city of Hamunaptra. It's some ugly ass long haired prisoner nigga just pulls your sister in and kisses her in the mouth. Like, that's sexual harassment, realistically speaking, but it's a movie, so.
Then get me the hell out of here.
He's set to be executed as a deserter, and the prison's slimy warden couldn't be more thrilled about it.
His neck did not break.
Evie ain't willing to put her body on the line,
I'm a very lonely man.
but she promises the warden a cut of the treasure in exchange for Rick's freedom. He
That
agrees
nigga-
to the terms
that
and
nigga
has
already
O'Connell cut
hanging.
down at the last minute. Yeah, dude, now you owe her one. Rick's almost execution nearly killed Brendan Fraser in real life too. In fact, it technically did. While a stuntman with a harness took the actual fall, for close-ups, Fraser stood on his tiptoes with a real rope pulled around his neck. On the second take, Summers requested the rope be pulled tighter, which ended up actually choking him out.
So he was
Nigga, they couldn't use a fucking body double? Why did they have to actually have a nigga get hung?
pulling up and I was going down. And then the next thing I knew, my elbow was in my ear. The world was sideways and there was gravel in my teeth and everyone was really quiet.
Doctors later told him he was technically dead for about 10 seconds. It's a story that came up a lot during this movie's press tour.
And so the camera spun around and it landed on my face. And all I remember is this sort of volume kind of like sound going, ew. And then the next thing I know, my elbow is in my ear and there's all these medics going, hello, Brendan, wake up. Brendan.
In fact, Fraser insisted on doing a lot of his own stunts, reasoning that he needed to justify his huge paycheck. That's just the kind of humble guy he is. Unfortunately, he probably pushed himself too far since he needed several surgeries afterward, including a spinal procedure and a partial knee replacement.
Yeah,
The
you
next day, his
tripping.
siblings set off on their expedition, with the warden and a cleaned up Rick in tow. Ooh, Evie likey. On their boat, they meet a rowdy gang of Americans who are also headed to Hamunaptra. There's Henderson, who looks like Diet Rick O'Connell, Burns, who looks like he'd work at Sterling Cooper, and Daniels, who looks like he'd listen to Joe Rogan. Their guide
He
is an
does
old
look like
friend
he would
of
listen to
Rick's
Joe
and
Rogan.
one of the movie's standout characters, Benny Gabor.
I think I'll kill you.
Think of my children.
You don't have any children.
Someday I might.
Shut up.
He's played
This
to
nigga.
slimy perfection by Kevin J. O'Connor, who had just worked with Summers in Deep Rising. Benny was with Rick during the opening battle, but he ran away and left his friend out to dry. Rick returns
This
the
nigga
favor
grimy
by
as
getting
fuck.
Benny a little wet.
Goodbye, Benny.
Benny's not the only one Rick has that effect on.
Why did you kiss me?
No, he's about to be hanged. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Evie's so distracted by that prison kiss, she can't even properly prep for their expedition. She's straight digmatized. That allows a Magi to show up in the mirror, asking for the map and a key. And
If my girl ain't moving like this, man, what? I'll give you a little kiss. Your ass better be hypnotized by that shit for the next 5 days. Minimum, nigga.
till Rick busts in. His guns go blazing on 2 rail shooter goons, while the room goes blazing up in flames. Wait, that Magi had dualies too? Damn, Loophole must be weak this season. Their map to Hamanatra also goes up in flames, but it ain't no problem. They've got Dora the Explorer up in this bitch.
Relax. I'm the map.
The spreading fire's got the ship looking like a Universal stunt show. Rick adds more Magi to the count, shooting 3 down with his dualies and tossing another into some fire. This is such a good example of how you can make an exciting action sequence, even when you're clearly on some kind of set with controlled pyro. I think it looks great, and I love it. Rick and Evelyn make their escape because the situation calls for it, and the Warden reluctantly follows suit. Meanwhile, the
What the
Americans
fuck? This nigga look like a whole demon
make
in
their
this scene.
escape because the situation calls for it, and the Warden
Look at this nigga
reluctantly
face.
follows
Why can his mouth get that wide?
suit. Meanwhile, the Americans are having a good old-fashioned shoot 'em up. They nab 1 kill and then secure a second when they see a Magi chasing Jonathan. Haha, poor dude, probably didn't even see it coming from beneath that burn mask. The Fail brother succeeds grabbing back the puzzle box before an explosion sends everyone's stunt doubles into the water. Both expeditions gather themselves and their gear on shore.
Hey! O'Connell! It looks to me like I've got all the horses!
Hey, Benny! Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river!
Apologies to anyone who knew me in middle school.
Okay.
Because they heard me scream those lines a lot. Rick's team drives
That
off
shit
and
would've pissed me
resupplies
off.
at a nearby village where, wait, what the fuck? Evie looks like this now? Seriously? You can't do this to us, Mummy. We're only human. We're flesh and bone. Ricky likey too, as they set off on a camel riding montage.
So she cut her
Best
hair?
way to connect with the war crush.
No, never
They
mind.
eventually reach their destination at the same time as Benny and their rival expedition. It includes the 3 Americans we met earlier, the classic cowboy, classy cowboy, and glasses cowboy, and a snooty Egyptologist named Dr. Alan Chamberlain. Just by looking at him, I bet he travels with a portable hookah. Oh, yep, look at that. You surely do. He's played by Jonathan Hyde, who was also an uptight British dude in Anaconda and seemingly every other 90s movie.
I'm really trying to think of like what movie. I definitely watched the 90s movie. It was like some shitty thing. I remember watching the Gremlins, that one Leprechaun movie. I don't know if that was the 90s or 2000s actually. But yeah, I remember watching something. I'm thinking of the horror movies I watched. I remember I watched some shit, bro. I don't know what it was, but I was like a kid when I was like way younger. I'm 18, but like when I say way younger, I mean way younger than I am now. Bro, I watched the movie like, I don't know. It was like about a giant ass crocodile that would go around killing people. Like a giant crocodile, and it was like the same with like a giant ass shark. It wasn't Jaws, but it was like a bunch of shit. I used to be into like a lot of movies with like giant animals playing killers and shit. I don't know what those movies were called, but like if somebody knows, please let me know down below in the comments. I would not mind like watching those movies again. And it's like those movies, I don't like, they're probably not as good as I remember, but like, bro, the concept of that shit just used to amaze me so much. So I wanted to see if I really knew ball or not, you know?
Colleagues have horror cred too. Corey Johnson was a one-time co-worker of Hellboy, while Stephen Dunham went on to star in Paranormal Activity 4, shortly before his very untimely and tragic death. R.I.P.
Yeah.
As the sun rises, a reverse mirage of some sort reveals the place they've all booked tickets to. It kicks off a camel race to reach the city first.
I think she's saying coming at
Benny
you.
Gabor takes an early lead, but Rick O'Connell sweeps up from the outside. And oh, Gabor takes a tumble. But it's Evelyn Conahan who pulls ahead of the pack.
Girl power.
I love how supportive her brother is. Jonathan's a clown, but he has a sweet relationship with his sister. I also love how much Evie kicks ass. She's a clumsy intellectual, but she can still throw down with the boys. Rachel Weisz and the rest of the cast spent 2 weeks learning how to ride camels. Most of them handled it fine, but Kevin J. O'Connor just did not get along with his camel. He also regretted choosing sandals for his character, as opposed to the boots recommended by the costume department. It meant his feet were constantly subject to the hot sand and all the creepy crawlies that lived in it. Making this movie was an
Then why the fuck did you choose that shit? My nigga, like, it's cool that they gave you the option to choose footwear, but why did you choose sandals? Like, it's not even the sandals that's like strapped around. I assume it's like the ones you gotta slide into or something.
Ordeal, to say the least. Part of why The Mummy holds up so well is because they actually filmed for 3.5 months in Morocco. Most of it in the Sahara Desert, with some additional shooting in Marrakesh. Producer Jim Jacks was adamant about shooting in the same location as Lawrence of Arabia, but it came with many drawbacks, including a safety concern that led him to take out a $1 million kidnapping insurance policy on the cast. Day to day, they had to deal with 130-degree heat, bugs, and sandstorms that would come out of nowhere and throw their equipment around.
Sometimes the sand would just get everywhere, actually. Which reminds me.
There were snakes and scorpions, some of whom were so venomous they'd have to amputate your limb if you were bitten. The crew got sick from the water and needed B12 shots to stay healthy.
You know, that's why we were there. It was, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Production also shot in London and Shepperton Studios in southeast England, with some of the boat scenes shot at night on the River Thames. Hamunaptra itself was a giant set that they spent 15 weeks building atop a dormant volcano. The two groups set up opposing
And the thing
camps.
is, like, shit is so amazing to me, because they did this shit back then, where they didn't have all the technology they have now. Or like, so like, this shit had to be harder to build this set. Like, they don't have all the construction and shit like that they could have had. It's just cool. I don't know.
With the Americans winning rights to the main entrance via guns and guys. That's okay with Evelyn, who uses a lighter touch and solves a mirror puzzle that shows their team another way forward. Ends up being the safer route too. The other expedition winds up triggering a booby trap that melts 3 of their workers to death. While the American team continues to dig top down, our main trio goes bottoms up, trying to find Imhotep's sarcophagus at the base of an Anubis statue. They eventually unearth it and realize the puzzle box they've been carrying is actually the key to opening it. Meanwhile, the warden is snuck off to do some treasure hunting of his own. He thinks he's struck gold when he finds some bejeweled beetles embedded in a wall, but these buggy boys are more than decorative. One cracks open to reveal a scarab beetle, which burrows its way into his shoe, up through his chest, and into it.
Hell nah, bro. Oh, that shit just made everything in my body feel weird. I'm like, bro, the scarabs actually like burrow inside of people like that quickly at that, nigga? Oh my god, hell nah.
Skull. Oh, that is hideous. I know some of y'all are squirming right now. The main trio hears
yeah,
his
bro.
scream just in time to see him run headfirst into a wall, killing him, but also proving he would have excelled at American football. While the explorers recoup from their losses that night, Rick hears a rumbling in the distance. It's
that
the
shit
Magi,
still got me
who've come
feeling
to
a
cut
little
into
weird,
their
I ain't gonna
operation
lie.
with a couple of kills. The Americans return fire, gunning down 4 of the Magi and adding them to the count. But the frame-by-framing don't end there, because Rick joins the fray, shooting another 3 Magi, while the Carnahan siblings both nab themselves 1 kill each. God damn, people are just getting shot to death with abandon here. This kill count is flipping, y'all. A dynamite deterrent finally gets the assault called off by the Magi's leader, Ardith Bey. He's the same dude who watched Rick wander into the desert 3 years ago, and damn is he one cool customer. His name is, of course, taken from the original Mummy movie. Ardith Bey was the alias Imhotep used when he was walking around Cairo disguised as a humble, crusty Egyptologist. And as a fun reminder, Ardith Bey is an anagram for Death by Ra, the Egyptian sun god. Bey warns the group that unearthing Hamunaptra will lead to their death for Death by Ra, crusty Egyptologist. And as a fun reminder, Ardith Bey.
Yeah, I can see, like, if you rearrange the letters, that's what it say.
Is an anagram for Death by Ra, the Egyptian sun god. Bey warns the group that unearthing Hamunaptra will lead to their deaths. It's got a death curse! He leaves and Okano puts out the dynamite, but he'd better be careful not to accidentally relight it with all these sparks between him and Evie. We get a great scene between our two Please Be lovebirds where Evelyn mentions that her mother was an Egyptian adventurer, giving her a similar lineage as Helen Grosvenor from the original. No matter her background though, she's proud of who she is and knows what she wants.
I'm a librarian. And I am going to kiss you, Mr. O'Connell.
But unfortunately for Rick, and for us, she doesn't quite make it. Don't worry, dude. It'll be better if she's sober for this anyway. I cannot sing the praises of this cast enough.
I mean, you already kissed her. Like, he already kissed her, so I don't even know. No, he already kissed her.
Chemistry
So
is so damn good.
it.
While the script wasn't written with Brendan Fraser in mind, as soon as they read the finished version, everyone agreed he was meant for the part. According to Summers, Fraser was the only actor they approached for the role. In contrast, the studio was reluctant to cast Rachel Weisz because she was relatively unknown, but she ultimately won the role because of her chemistry with Fraser, because obviously.
What it was like working with Rachel on these films.
She's fantastic. Rachel she's wonderful.
This nigga aged like, I ain't actually about to say nothing, because maybe I could end up being old. And, like, you know. But damn, this nigga got wide. This nigga went from, like new gen Ferrari to, like, wide body Ford. I don't know.
She's just wonderful.
I think Brendan is incredibly strong, so I bet I just have to hold his hand and feel.
Them niggas had a crush on each other
Weiss
for real.
auditioned repeatedly because she found the character strong and interesting, something she felt was lacking for female roles in the 90s. Scottish actor John Hannah was cast as Jonathan after his agent hyped him as hilarious to a Universal exec, even though he claimed he had never been funny in his life. Sure looked serious as hell, talking shrooms in The Last of Us. During the shoot, he struggled to understand Jonathan's purpose, since Fraser was the hero and O'Connor was the comedic relief. The mix of tones confused the rest of the cast too.
We had no idea what kind of movie we were making.
Still, they gave it their all, even though they sometimes worried they were doing too much.
I heard Rachel going, "Oh, this is the end of my career." You know?
It was especially hard to tell on set when they were acting against digital effects that would be added in post-production. But everything worked out thanks to Stephen Sommers, who had a clear vision for the spectacle he wanted to create. He was a super enthusiastic director.
Really bouncy, happy, inspiring, fun.
He's just like, you know, a big kid.
The American filmmaker won over his British crew by wrangling the chaotic set with his unique directing style.
Ready, and don't suck, action!
Run fast, look like a stud, and don't die.
Look cool and don't die. Action!
He really clicked with his cast. He called them all sweethearts, and they similarly spoke kindly of him. Despite being on such a challenging and sometimes dangerous shoot, everyone seemed to have had a blast.
It's a full moon.
It does look fun.
Impressively, despite the movie's complexity, Sommers kept everything on schedule and didn't have to do any reshoots. No wonder the whole freaking cast and crew were happy to return a couple of years later to work with Sommers again for the sequel, The Mummy Returns.
Steven just loves making movies. I loved making that movie.
In the morning, everyone ignores Ardith Bay's warning and gets right back to digging. Curse be damned! The American team finds a chest containing canopic jars, the same ones used to house Ankh-Sunamun's organs, as seen in the movie's opening. The chest also holds the Book of the Dead that Imhotep tried to raise her with. On a different channel, Rick and Evie's unboxing unveils Imhotep's mummified corpse, but it's in an unexpected state. Thing is juicier than Hoffman's lips.
I've never seen a mummy look like this before.
Never seen a mummy like this man before. Between the scratches on the lid and the dead beetles buried with him, Evie deduces
Bro, put them fucking Beatles down, my nigga, please.
he was condemned to an eternal undeath and buried alive.
Probably got a little too frisky with the Pharaoh's daughter.
Nope, that was the original. In this one, she was his lover. Evie tells everyone about the Hamdai and that if a victim of it should ever arise, they'd bring the 10 plagues of Egypt with them. But she's also a woman of science, a skeptic like John Whemple from the OG. So she has no qualms snatching the Book of the Dead from Chamberlain and cracking it open to do some academic research.
It's just a book. No harm ever came from reading a book.
Oh yeah, okay. Tell that to every group of teens in every cabin in the woods frickin' ever.
Do not read the Latin.
Evelyn reads an incantation and unwittingly puts some new life into that old mummy.
No! You must not read from the book!
A little late for that
Yeah,
one,
it's definitely
but
too
the
late for
apocalypse
that.
kicks off immediately with a plague of locusts. It descends upon the camp, devouring 5 pork.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprisingly a lot of people hasn't died yet, but it was like plot, so it makes sense. But nigga, I never knew locusts move like this. Like I was like, damn, a lot of the bugs flying at you is a little crazy, but like locust goes, nah, bro. After that one scene, that shit low-key gave me a new fear. Like actually,
Grunts who couldn't run fast enough. The named characters escape into the temple, but Burns trips and pulls a Velma.
Oh, my glasses! My glasses!
Then that little ship Benny runs by and breaks them underfoot. Burns is left behind.
you
unable
couldn't
to
find
make
your
out a
glasses
mummified
until the
threat
niggas
before it
start
attacks
fucking
him off
stumping on
screen.
them.
Rick, Evelyn, and Jonathan face a scarab beetle eruption that sends them running through the tomb. During the commotion, Evie falls fine-ass backward through a hidden door in the wall and comes across Mr. Burns. But someone better call Smithers, cause Mr. Burns ain't got no eyes no more. They were taken by this motherfucker. And he'll be keeping them, thank you very much. Especially because it means he can see Evelyn. No, Evelyn.
What?
Evelyn. Rick and Jonathan are trying to find Evie when the other explorers return with some beetles in tow. Rick stays long enough to watch them reduce one worker to gristle and bone.
Oh my God.
The boys keep running and take the long
Instantly.
way around until they find Evelyn and meet her new friend. Imhotep and Rick play a game of screamy shouting. Sorry, the screamy, shouty shotgun. Shotgun wins. But he'll be back. He'll be back. They make their escape, only to get held up by Ardith and his men. He tells them to go on and get while the Magi go mummy hunting, but not before letting them know how much they done just fucked up.
This creature is the bringer of death. He will never eat. He will never sleep. He will never stop.
Apparently, Ardith Bay was originally written as a 70-year-old black man, with James Earl Jones or Roscoe Lee Brown in mind. Instead, the role went to Israeli actor Oded Fair, who was only 23 at the time. Even though Fair is 6'1", the costume department gave him heeled shoes and a big hat to keep him from looking small next to Fraser, who has a bigger build and stands 6'3". Benny's wandering around when he runs into Imhotep. In a great depiction of his sleaziness, he goes through a Rolodex of religions to protect himself. Nothing works until he starts speaking Hebrew, which Imhotep recognizes. Ah, well, that sucks. But Benny's willing to do anything to make a little gold, including helping a scary zombie track down his girlfriend's body parts. Imhotep's initial form was meant to be scary, but not gory. They wanted to avoid blood and fluids to help keep the movie PG-13. Different designs were pitched before the role was even cast, and different elements were taken from each.
Can you combine it with the eyes here and the neck there?
After South African actor Arnold Vosloo was cast, they digitally painted portraits of him to see how everything would look. The 2D art was then turned into 3D maquettes, which were then used to generate digital models. This was where all the techie work came in. Since Imhotep was human instead of an animal or a beast, audiences would know if something didn't look quite right. Each body part had to connect correctly, meaning the animators had to recreate human joints.
Each one of these pincushion things represents, some mechanism that twists or rotates or pushes or pulls.
I will always have respect for people who make movies, even if the movie looks shit. But if you use CGI and stuff like that, it still takes so much time. So I respect it. I'm not saying this movie looks shit, by the way. It looks pretty good, especially considering this time. But damn. What's good, Deadpool? How you doing, my young nigga? But nah, this movie looked tough, bro.
Man, have to be a
They
damn
put all them fucking pins just to make an arm
so
turn.
Smart. I do love how the completed musculature looks like it'd be an early internet meme, though. They also designed a full internal organ system, but they wound up taking it out because they thought seeing through his gaps and holes looked cooler. Even though, doesn't that contradict the way Imhotep was burying
shit,
organs
coolin'?
all of the movie's incredible digital effects were done by ILM, overseen by VFX supervisor John Burton. Burton really pushed what they were capable of doing. At the same time, I love the way he talks about needing real humans to have truly great performances.
Reality has a complexity that is infinite. And until we come up with a computer that is able to calculate an infinite number of numbers, there's no way we're going to touch it.
Burton was why they ended up doing motion capture instead of just animating their digital mummy by hand. Vosloo stayed an extra 2 weeks after everyone else wrapped, redoing everything he already filmed with the cast to capture his movement. He approached the tech the same way I do, respectfully without fully understanding it.
You just have to open your mouth wide or do this or do that.
Also, Deadpool, you can hear the video I'm watching, right? I just gotta make sure this shit is actually properly working, because the shit will stop. It didn't work for me on YouTube for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah? Okay, bet.
Come out, I'm like, whatever, you guys are paying me, I'll do it.
They were able to see a crude version of his performance in real time as they filmed, and then map their skeleton and every other layer over the mocap lines. A big help here was Nick Dudman, who had just worked on The Phantom Menace, where a similar tech was used for Jar Jar Binks. Misha Mami! Both expeditions returned to Cairo.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I watched 2 out of the 3 of the original Star Wars movies. I feel like I gotta watch the 3rd one. After that, I could call myself a Star Wars fan, because I at least know the original trilogy,
Where Rick wants to pull a Han Solo.
It's cool, but I ain't watch it like that.
He and Evelyn describe each other.
Fine. I used to hate Star Wars, though, for no reason.
You both certainly are. Benny and his new boss are back in Cairo, too, where they meet with Burns under the guise of Imhotep being a prince.
Prince Imhotep does not like to be touched. A silly Eastern superstition, I'm afraid.
I loved hearing that specific callback to the original.
Your pardon, I dislike to be touched. An Eastern prejudice.
Anyway, after cruelly pranking the blind bro, Imhotep finishes the job. He takes a whole lot more of Burns' body this time, sucking him dry as seen a little bit later. As his power increases, so
why they kept on doing it to this one nigga in specific?
Sync their watches for designated shot time. They all taste at once how their water and booze have turned into blood. bloodshot. Fire and brimstone start raining down, killing at least 2 unfortunate people in the process. Rick and Evie run upstairs to find Imhotep with some more meat on his bones. Now he can handle gunshots and manhandle gunmen. Thankfully, a cute cat on the keys sends him twisting the night away.
He scared the cat?
Keyboard cat? Evie goes to the museum to try and find some answers, only to find her boss bumping shoulders with Ardith Bey. Turns out the curator is a member of the Magi, who have worked in secret for thousands of years to prevent Imhotep's return. In fact, he tried to sabotage their expedition from the get-go.
Burnt it! You've burnt off a part of the lost city!
For the best, I'm sure.
Now, the end credits call this guy Curator, but according to the wiki, he's Dr. Terrence Bey. I guess I'll go with that, but why name him Bey? We've already got Ardith Bey. Evelyn's all like, hey, baby, and tells them Imhotep's been hitting on her and even gave her a cute little nickname.
Anuk-Sunamun.
The Bey Bros theorize he's trying to raise his long-lost love and use Evie as a human sacrifice in the ritual. But first, he'll have to reach full power by killing everyone who opened his chest. That's bad news for the Americans, so they team up with Rick and the Carnahan crew as things get worse.
His powers are growing.
Oh yeah? What's he doing this time? Wait, what the fuck? Imhotep can affect the heavenly
How the
bodies?
fuck does that even make sense?
That would mess up like so many almanacs. Rick forces Evie to stay behind with the 2 remaining Yankee bros standing guard. He and Jonathan leave to track down Dr. Chamberlain, the Egyptologist who also opened Imhotep's chest and is currently being stalked through the streets. They get to Chamberlain's flat to find Benny mid-ransack. He tries to run, but Rick tells him—
I feel like there's no way you can't smell this nigga. Like, I understand, oh, he's in disguise, I can't see him, but you can't smell this nigga? A nigga that's been decaying since fucking, like, I don't know, 1923 in this timeline or some shit? No way you did not smell this stink ass nigga. Probably, bro. 1923 way too late, actually. Or way too early. He definitely, like, been decaying for a little minute, though. Would he be, like, decayed for so long that he no longer has a smell? Like, if, like, say, for example, boom. Somebody died and their body decayed completely. And they come back to life. Would they not have a smell? Since all their, like, smell, like, all the shit that could cause smells is already going or something? I don't know.
Take a seat.
Let me guess. Spring cleaning.
Did this nigga just throw a chair at him?
Against everything he can find, with a ceiling fan finally getting him to crack.
The black book they found at Hamanoptra. He wants it back. He said to me it would be worth its weight in gold.
A scream gives Benny an opening to exit this scene through the window. Another classic movie-making trick here, using a stunt double and a Texas switch. Gotta love it. The scream they heard came from the Egyptologist, who's been drained off screen by Imhotep. Damn, dude's collecting those canopic jars like a video game side quest. Imhotep screams out a swarm of flies, the 5th plague of his resurrection. Even though flies were plague number 4 in the book of Exodus, and honestly, the order's all fucked up. I mean, we started with locusts. They weren't supposed to come until plague number 8. The flies, the locusts, all of the movie's bugs were also made by ILM. That includes the scarab beetles.
Imagine having to animate all these damn bugs, bro.
From various real-world insects. The beetles were given an iridescent black skin that would stand out even in the low-light setting of the tombs and tunnels. The bugs were all animated using digital particle systems to determine their movement. Another thing I don't fully understand, but am massively impressed by. Anytime someone mentions Maya, I know that shit's above my pay grade. Of course, as with the best digital effects, practical elements were used to help sell them. In this case, real locusts who were chilling on Chamberlain. Daniel steps out for a drink, leaving Henderson behind to get sandstormed by a Darude dude. Oh, he getting his soul sucked in silhouette. A suck? This latest acquisition finally gives us a fleshy, fresh Imhotep. He's only got a few bug holes in his cheeks. Gotcha! This one scene took 4 days to shoot, with Vosloo just standing there, cocking his head and pretending to chew a bug. It's a great example of why CG is necessary sometimes. Prosthetics can only add to things, they can't take stuff away. Nick Dudman created a prosthetic plate for Vosloo to wear on his face and neck that provided tracking markers to map his body. Then they just painted their CG makeup over Vosloo's performance. This is all really cool stuff that you don't even think about while you're watching the movie because it's so seamless. Imhotep Alex Max into sand and slides into Evie's room like an hourglass. Then he starts smooching her while she's asleep. Brother, that's assault. A Rick kick interrupts him and another cat sends him skittering away like the Sandman. Earlier, Bay 1 and Bay 2 said ancient Egyptians believed cats were the guardians to the underworld. Imhotep hates that place, and since he's not at full power yet, he hightails it away. The group reconvenes at the museum. Never would have expected Daniels to be the last American. He always stood out the least to me. Evie theorizes that if Imhotep can be brought back with the Book of the Dead, he can be killed by its counterpart, the Book of the Living. aka the Book of Amun-Ra. They'll just need to
Where
translate
did they
its
find that
location
book
off this
at?
giant rock, ideally before they're beset upon by a mindless mob.
Patience is a virtue.
Not right now, it isn't.
The population of Cairo has turned into a reverse Frankenstein pitchfork mob.
Last but not least, my favorite plague. Boils and sores.
Wait, I thought he would bring all 10 plagues with him. You're 4 plagues short, movie. Where my frogs at? Evie determines the other book is buried back in their favorite city, Hamunaptra. God, I love how smart Evelyn is, and how self-assured she is about her skills. In fact, most of the characters are smart. Even Jonathan has a certain cleverness to him, like when he evades the brainwashed mob. That allows him to get the car and bring it around for their escape. Too bad rap boy Benny sees them and snitches to his bald batty.
Bro, what the fuck is this nigga still doing this shit for? Benny, you was a bitch. This nigga a rat too, but like, damn, nigga. You in danger too at this point. Why are you still helping the fucking mummy?
Daddy. Zaddy even. The heroes are forced to plow through a crowd of infected locals, though not lethally enough for me to add any to the count. Despite their best efforts, Daniels gets yoinked out of his seat during the ride and left behind. He manages to shoot down 6 boiled and enchanted Egyptians as they try to surround him, but he runs out of ammo by time the main event arrives.
I don't even
Imhotep
remember this
approaches
nigga.
and sucks out his sweet, sweet life juice just off screen. Hey Benny, don't look away. You watch what you've done. O'Connell and co are also cornered eventually, and at least 3 of these locals aren't
This
moving
nigga,
anymore, so
I have a feeling this nigga Benny gonna end up getting 8, and he don't even know it yet. But I know it. This nigga definitely gotta get 8. Nigga, you was there when they was opening that tune. Hamunaptra coming for your ass.
I'm gonna add them to the count.
Or not
the crowd
Hamunaptra,
parts to make way for
you know
a
what I
fresh
mean.
new Imhotep, finally fully
Imhotep.
patched like no video game ever is anymore. God damn, this man has swagger. Arnold Vosloo is a veteran bad guy actor who's been bad guying it up in everything from 24 to G.I. Joe to Agent Cody Banks. He took the role seriously and researched priests from ancient Egypt, learning that they shaved their entire body. So every morning, he would shave his head while the makeup department shaved the rest of him. He also lost about 15 pounds for the role. He compared his outfit to a G-string and wanted to get into G-string shape once production began. Imhotep offers to spare everyone if Evelyn goes with him willingly. Rick's not about to let that happen, but it's not up to him. Evie agrees, telling Rick
What type of face is this nigga making?
willingly. Rick's not about to let that happen.
Look at this
but
nigga. Hold up.
It's not up.
Why is this nigga smoldering, bro? Nigga ran like life or death situation. This nigga here. When I do it, it's not as like. Hold up. Let me. Am I fine shit? Yeah, you're so handsome. Oh, holy, why are you so sexy? Oh, you're hot as fuck. Thank y'all. Chill.
To him. Evie agrees, telling Rick to go to Hamunaptra and save her there, or else.
If he turns me into a mummy, you're the first one I'm coming after.
Good frickin' lord. The chemistry between these two could earn a college grant. As Imhotep takes her away, he breaks the deal and orders his mob to kill them anyway. Ha, what a stinker. The group escapes into the sewer, but Dr. Terrence Bay elects to stay behind to buy them time. What, like 7 seconds? You definitely could have joined them, man. But I guess he just had to slice and dice his possessed countrymen. 6 of them, to be exact, which we will add to the count. It doesn't take long for him to be overwhelmed and killed by the mob, but again, I feel like he could have just left with them. To get to Hamunaptra quickly, Rick enlists the help of Winston, a retired Royal Air Force pilot. He shared a quick drink with them earlier. Jonathan's drink, actually. Winston's been in Cairo since he was stationed there in World War I, so he leaps at the chance for adventure. Anything that'll let him join his brave brethren who perished in the war.
I just wish I could have chucked it in with the others and gone down in flame and glory.
Well, you probably won't live through it.
Hi, Joe. Do you really think so?
Hell yeah, dude, your death wish about to be granted. Winston flies the boys to Hamunaptra, with Ardith really enjoying the ride. They manage to catch up to Team Imhotep, who are traveling via Wizard of Oz tornado. Is it weird to be traveling inside your boss, Benny? I would never make my
Low
peace
key.
to that.
Are we in Bixby yet?
Shut up. Imhotep spots their plane and summons a sandstorm in one of the movie's most iconic shots. It took a team at ILM 6 months to fine-tune the particle system for this movie.
That reminds me of Beyond Two Souls, where you play as a Native American. And they got that sand demon that's been hunting them. I forgot what it's called, but that's what that reminded me of.
Which allowed them to simulate such sick sand effects. Rick responds by shooting at it, but there ain't even an HP counter on this guy. I don't think you can hurt him like that, man. Evie breaks Imhotep's concentration with a kiss, saving the boys from crashing their plane. Or almost. Thankfully, there's nary a scratch on any of them. Well, except for Winston. He's dead. Hey, at least he died doing what he loved, dying. And then his body is buried by quicksand. Every kid's worst nightmare. They set out after Imhotep, who's just reached the underground chamber where he originally tried to resurrect Ankh-Sunamun. Ah, memories. I'm sure things will go better this time, dude. Benny's pretty pumped that his payday's coming up, but Evie hits him with some unfortunate henchman truths.
You know, nasty little fellows such as yourself always get their comeuppance. Always.
The boys get inside the temple and begin digging for the Book of the Living. Jonathan unwisely messes around with those scarab beetles.
Bros, leave those fucking scarabs alone, please. Damn.
Tracks a bubonic bug. Before he meets the same fate as the warden, Rick extracts the beetle via knife point and shoots it via gun. Imhotep overhears the commotion and sicks some mummy minions on them. Shame, since they just reached the temple's actual treasure room, which is much more Jonathan's speed. Alas, some of the living dead are here, and they want to party. They're Imhotep's golden boys, the priests who were mummified and buried with him all those years ago. Looking pretty musty nowadays. The boys begin firing away, killing, I think, 10 priest mummies. It's a little hard to tell since they're so crumbly, so I'm basing that number off sufficient bodily destruction. The boys bid a hasty retreat, vaporizing 4 more mummies as they back down a hallway before using dynamite to clear out another 2, giving us 6 total for this kill graphic. They end up exactly where Evelyn said the book would be, at the feet of a statue of Horus. As Rick and Jonathan recover the golden book of Amun-Ra, Ardith decides to sacrifice himself to stop another wave of mummies. This also doesn't seem necessary.
Definitely
I don't
wasn't.
know, is this a Magi thing? As Ardith fights them back, Rick uses more dynamite to blow 3 mummies out of their way. In the meantime, Evie's found herself chained up next to Ankh-Sunamun's body. They're soon joined by more mummified priests as Imhotep begins his resurrection ritual. This time, he successfully fishes Ankh-Sunamun's soul out and CG swirls it into her body. But before he can finalize things by killing Evelyn, he's interrupted by the arrival of Jonathan with the book. Unfortunately, Jonathan still needs the key to open it, and that's currently in Imhotep's G-string. Rick takes advantage of the distraction to grab a sword. He goes full Conan on the mummified priests, destroying 12 with various punches, kicks, and other slapstick Looney Tunes shenanigans. Lots of good comedy beats here, like a guy hot potatoing his head until Rick batters up and hits a home run. Before he can free Evie, Rick's pulled down by some torsos that still have some kick in them. He's nearly crushed by a rock, but a handy helper gives him the reach to cut the attack off at the ankles. And yeah, I'll count this crushing as a kill. Stephen Sommers wanted this fight to evoke Ray Harryhausen pictures, like the skeleton fight in Sinbad. The priest mummies here are covered in bandages as an homage to Imhotep's original appearance. While they were sometimes guys in suits, for this extended fight scene, they were fully CG. Action director Simon Crane said,
Bro, I feel like as an actor, you really gotta be like really locked in, cause nigga, they got your ass swinging at nothing, bro. And there's a way you gotta swing at nothing, you know? Like that shit is so crazy to me, cause nigga, I would have been going fucking insane. Nigga, I look crazy as shit doing that, bro. I would have been getting the bag, so I wouldn't care how crazy I look, but it'd be like, damn, how the fuck I know whether I'm doing this shit right or not?
3 weeks training a stunt team to do the fight with Fraser for real. Then they filmed Fraser as he went through all his motions alone. He took to the task easily. George of the Jungle gave him experience fighting creatures who weren't there, and he was able to swing his sword full force since he didn't have to worry about injuring stunt performers. The VFX artists, like everyone else in the world, were enamored with him.
When you see these scenes and you see him fighting against something that's not even there with real strength and real power, boy, that made our job a lot easier.
The stuntmen then performed their actions for mocap before all 21 of them were added one by one to the scene.
The technology is by far and away more advanced than I'm able to really accurately describe.
After that, all they needed was a bunch of dust to help sell the effects, and you're left with one impressive fight against bad guys who weren't really there. Jonathan tries to help by reading an inscription on the book's cover, but he inadvertently raises the Pharaoh's bodyguards instead. Ankh-Sunamun grabs Evie for a women's division fight, kicking off a fun sequence where she has to translate for Jonathan mid-brawl.
Oh yes, I see.
Rick's left to battle the guards.
That nigga pissed me clean off, bro.
Him at Screamy Shout. Doesn't help that they jump around like Hammer Bros and can even crawl on walls.
Oh yeah, hell
no.
no.
Rick takes things to another level when he crushes one soldier skelly bastard with a cage. Then he takes the fight to the staircase, which sees him taking heads off of bodies, putting heads into bodies, and setting bodies ablaze for another 8? Yeah, I think 8 kills, sure. He's eventually overwhelmed, but Jonathan finishes reading in time to take control of the situation. He sends the skelly soldiers after Anck-su-namun instead, and Imhotep is forced to watch his lover get murdered in silhouette, echoing her first death all those millennia ago.
Damn.
Enraged, Imhotep attacks Jonathan. Rick intervenes, giving him a chance to pickpocket the key back. The siblings use it to open the book and read the
I can't even be mad at Imhotep for real though. He doing all this just to get his girl back. That's a lover boy, nigga. And he like me for real. Shit. If I found out there's a way that, like, me and my girl died in a crazy way, and I found out there's a way for both of us to come back. Yeah, nigga. Like, what?
Appropriate passage.
Kadishmal, Kadishmal. Paradus, Paradus.
It summons a ghost chariot that drags Imhotep's soul away, leaving him running after it like he missed the school bus. It doesn't kill him, at least not right away, but since he's mortal now, Rick's able to do the job manually by stabbing him with the sword. Imhotep stumbles back into the soul suit and uses his last words to tease a sequel.
Death is only the beginning.
This whole time, Benny's been loading up gold onto camels outside. He could have been good and rich, but he just couldn't stop going back for more. During a break, he sets off a booby trap that starts collapsing the entire
Should've been
temple.
left.
Oh,
That's
good
what greed
freaking
gets
job,
you,
Benny.
nigga.
You turn this place into Sandopolis Zone. Hope there aren't ghosts. Our main trio
Put
makes
the bag
escape,
down,
but
nigga.
Butterfinger's fuck-ass Jonathan fumbles the book on his way out. Well, there goes priceless history. The three
This
reach
nigga.
safety, and despite Benny's betrayal, Rick does make an effort to save his old friend. But it doesn't work, and Benny's left trapped inside.
Goodbye, Benny.
Don't worry though, he's not alone. He's got a couple thousand new friends to keep him company. As he
Hell
loses
no.
light, Benny's devoured by scarab beetles, fulfilling Evie's prophecy from earlier. Outside, Rick and the siblings narrowly escape as the entire city collapses into the ground. As they watch from afar, they're jump scared by Ardith Bay, who survived his self-sacrifice. Ha! Eat it, Terrence! Ardith thanks them for their help, respectfully not reminding them that it was all their fault in the first place. Then he pieces out on his camel, leaving them alone in the desert so we can finally get what we've all been waiting for. There we go. That's how you do it. Take no twisters, you blue balling piece of shit. Hell, we even get a little bonus kiss as they leave because of course that would happen. The movie ends with the trio riding off into the sunset, unknowingly taking Benny's haul with them. How many names did this movie add to its Book of the Dead? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Oh God.
No, why the fuck y'all gotta play like this? Cause this shit is actually the only like disturbing thing about this.
We counted 203 kills in The
God
Mummy, a
damn.
substantial increase from its 1932 counterpart. The victims consisted of 201 men and only 2 women, both of whom were Anck-su-namun. Such a hefty kill count ranks it 18th in our show's history, with fewer kills than Wishmaster 2, but more than 28 days later. With a runtime of 125 minutes, The Mummy had a kill on average every 36.94 seconds.
Damn.
I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to the Mummy priests killed by O'Connell in that awesome action shot. So much went into
Definitely
making
valid.
this look so good, and it was worth it. The kills are exciting, fun, and surprisingly fresh, given the victims. Dual Machete for lamest kill will go to Dr. Terrence Bay, since his self-sacrifice felt exceptionally
It
pointless.
literally was
Why'd
so
you do
pointless.
that? And that's it. The Mummy was released in
I fuck with
1999,
this channel,
ginning up a
bro.
lot of excitement thanks to a kick-ass Super Bowl commercial. That ushered in a box office overperformance where it made $400 million worldwide.
God
Holy
damn.
crap. It was quickly followed by a sequel, The Mummy Returns, which I'd love to cover someday. But in the meantime, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
On the
Hold
next
up.
Kill Count.
Movies today don't traumatize people enough. When I was growing up, I was made to fear flying.
I ain't gonna lie, me and my girl been doing this thing where we've been watching all the Final Destination movies. Because we went to the theater and we watched the newest one, and I'm like, shit, we might as well watch all the other ones too. So, you know.
I learned to never follow a logging truck on the highway. I second-guessed roller coasters, going to racetracks, and even...
I ain't gonna lie, Final Destination the type of movie that just make you scared to go outside though. Even scared to stay inside. Final Destination type of movie that make you scared to live, nigga. Dead ass.
driving over bridges. Final Destination took all these things and turned them into nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Now the series is back.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
And this time, they're tackling the scariest thing of all, family.
That's cool.
Oh, and also going up in tall buildings. Back in the 60s, a young woman named Iris stopped a catastrophic collapse that would have killed more than 100 people.
Is that a good thing?
You'd think so, but not when you're in a Final Destination movie.
Death doesn't like it when you fuck with his plans.
Now it's decades later, and death is still taking the lives that never should have
The
lived.
thing is, like, in Final Destination, there's literally no way you ever win. Like, I escaped death. Nigga, you never can escape death. Like, what, you just because you escape him in that moment means you're gonna be immortal? Like, nigga, no, that nigga always wins regardless.
Including any descendants who never should have been born in the first place. Final Destination Bloodlines is possibly the best film of the franchise.
You still don't believe me? Seeing is believing.
It's got all the anxiety-inducing Rube Goldberg death traps you've come to expect. Kills are incredible, the story actually makes sense, and in a rare move for Final Destination, the characters are lovable.
Not check. What?
You'll laugh with them as they joke around and feel pretty bad as they get killed.
Oh
That's
my
Final
God,
Destination,
that nigga
baby.
got hung
Anyone
by
can
his
go
nose.
At any time.
You can trip down the stairs, fall down a toilet or something. I don't know.
This week, watch the latest and greatest of the series, Final Destination Bloodlines. Then on Friday, witness deaths designed with the kill count, only on Dead Meat.
Maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be fucking crazy.
Jeez! Shit!
Who just walks in the middle of the road like that anyway? I ain't gonna lie, this was a good little sit down. Hey, thank y'all boys and girls at YouTube so much for watching this video with me. It's been your boy Cal, aka Activism here. And peace.